Okay, so quick recap of what we have learned last week. How to capture the lightning input. So we have seen with the example to capture the input value, whatever the user has entered, and without using the Aura attribute in the lightning controller. And also we have seen what is AuraID and when to use the AuraID, where to use the AuraID in the lightning component as well as in the controller, how to use the AuraID. In order to capture the value, how to use that AuraID value in the controller, we have seen with the example. Then we have seen with the event.getSource. With the example, basically event.getSource is to capture the action click event source. So whatever the events like on button click or on clicking on some checkbox or something. So based on some action, if there is any event, standard event is happening, in order to capture that information, we have used it event.getSource. And also where to use the event.getSource, we have seen that we are going to use it in the lightning controller. And also we have seen local ID and global ID. We have taken one example for the local ID. And also I had explained when to use the local ID and when to use the global ID. And at the same time, I have given some example when to use the Aura ID and Aura attribute. So this is what we have learned in the last class. So today, what we are going to do is we'll see how to hide the component based on some flag, hiding the component and showing the component, as well as we will see some CSS. How to use the styling, we will see this styling part. Okay, so in order to hide that, okay, we have this component, right? Yes, I can use this component. So this is the component which we have implemented in last class. If I click on add, so it is okay. Now I'll take the same example, lightning component. Okay. So whatever user has entered the value, okay, I wanted to display that information at the bottom. I'll take the another lightning card. And the title is display the output. Okay. Now here what I want is I wanted to display some value of first name and second name. Okay. So what is my first name? I want the details. First number and second number. Want to display the first number and the second number. Total output. Okay, so here, oh yeah, okay, here I have a Aura ID. I need Aura attribute. So let's use another example for that. Better I'll create a new component. It will be easy because I need the Aura attribute here. So let me create the new one. New lightning component. LC underscore 1204. And this is a flag. Let me quickly create the attributes here. And name, I'll use the rate. And the type is decimal. I can directly close here. I can remove this end. Okay. Let me take another 4 values. Okay. Rate, term, and plan. Let me use right. And then now I'll insert the lightning card. And my title is calculation. Inside the lightning card, I'll put the button and the lightning input. So first I'll declare the lightning input. So I need 3 input values here. So the first one is enter the amount. And where this value should be stored. This value will be stored in one of the attribute. I'll just copy the input here. And the second one is enter the number of years. Okay. And my value, I wanted to store in term. And the second one is rate of interest. And I want the value to be stored in rate. So these are the lightning input that I have created. Now I wanted to create the button. So this will be action, Aura set, attribute, actions, I'll create a lightning button. Label equal to submit. So I'm creating the one button here. And my label name is button. On click of this button, I wanted to call the JavaScript. handle submit. Okay, let's close this button. Okay, so now I have a attributes and lightning input. Okay, now I'll go to the controller. In my function aim is handle submit. So I'll change it to handle submit. I'm not planning to use the helper here. So I do not need component comma event. Yes, event I need it, component I need it. So what are the values that I wanted to capture? I wanted to capture the values that are entered in these three inputs. So for capturing, I have to use component.get v dot pri. So let's assume that this is a var amount. Okay. So same thing I need it for another two values, two inputs I needed. Component.get term. And then component.get rate. Close it. Let's declare, put it in the one attribute. Term. Var equal to rate. Okay. Simple calculation I'll go for var equal to some result equal to, my calculation is amount term rate multiply everything by 100. Okay, so this is my calculation here. Let me close, save this and save my component. I'll use this component in my existing app. Okay, so let's update preview. Okay, so now I have a calculation on top. It is displaying. This is Aura set. Attribute is actions. That's the reason it is displaying here. If I give attributes equal to footer, then it might have displayed here. Now I have a three inputs, 15, 20, then click on submit.
Set is not declared.
Sorry.
Component dot set.
Okay, right now I'm not setting this result. Nowhere I'm not setting it. So in order to set that, let me introduce.
Yeah, that is I'm trying to.
Or else I can do one thing. Whatever, yeah, let me introduce the Aura attribute. Name equal to result. v dot result. Let's see. Okay, 20, 10, 10 rate of interest, then click on submit. Is it calling my action or not? Component dot set. V dot result comma result. Okay. $25 and rate of interest is 10. Click on submit. Result is not defined. Now it should work. And then, okay. So this is the component. Okay. So this component is simple calculation, whatever the amount, number of year, rate of interest. And I am multiplying everything and by dividing with 100. So whatever the output I am getting it. Now based on the output, I wanted to display some component. Let's assume that I have another component bottom. So lightning card, my title is let's take, I'm just giving the sample output values. Okay. Now I wanted to display all these values, amount, and the years, and the rate, interest of, account, stick down here, and the rate, and then I want the result. Okay. Okay, so this is the component. Okay, this component A should be displayed based on my output. Like if my output is greater than 10, then only I wanted to display that particular component here. If it is at 10 or less than 10, I do not want to display the component bottom. So how to handle that? So that is based on the condition, based on the result of the whatever the value that is there. Based on that, I wanted to hide this particular component. Okay, so for that, how can we do it? Let's introduce another attribute called flag. Aura colon attribute, and name of the attribute is flag. Type equal to Boolean. And the default value for this flag is false. Okay. Now I can use that particular attribute in the controller if my result is greater than 10. I wanted to set the flag to true. Okay. Otherwise, I just want the flag to be false. So whenever my result is greater than 10, I want the flag to be true, otherwise the false. Okay. Now this is the value I have set it in controller. Let's go back to component. In order to hide this one, in the component, I have to use AuraID. Okay. So in the component also we have a if-else conditions. AuraIf or AuraSet. If you go to the library, or if you search with AuraIf in the Google, you will find that. So the if condition is AuraIf. Okay, if the is true, and then it will have the is true. So the first thing is that AuraIf, this is nothing but a if, else is nothing but AuraSet in the component. So like in the controller, we have a if else. So in the component, it is AuraIf, AuraSet. In the AuraIf, the value will be verified. The attribute is in the AuraIf, that is true. That means whatever the value that I'm passing it to the AuraIf, if it is a true, then only show this. So it can be a Boolean value, it can be a data, it can be anything. If I'm saying is true, that means I want this particular, whatever the attribute is there here, it has to be true. So right now I'm passing it v.flag. If this flag is true, I wanted to display this particular lightning component. Okay. And where to write AuraSet? Ideally, if else will be the once if is completed, then we will write the else condition. But coming to component, it's different. It has to be within the AuraIf. You cannot write here AuraSet. Okay, the AuraSet has to be inside. Okay, so basically AuraIf logic will comes here. Once the logic end, then you have to write the AuraSet. So look at this example. So AuraIf is true, then I have a logic. Then AuraSet, I have an attribute, and which is like I'm giving else condition here. So once my logic is done, then I have to write the AuraSet. Okay, in AuraSet, the attribute is attribute. So in AuraIf, it is a is true, and in AuraSet, it is a attribute. Attribute equal to else. So else I wanted to display one text message is less than 10. Okay, this is what I have written. So the structure is clear, right? Aura if structure. So let's refresh this. Okay. By default, it is showing the else condition. Okay. Because as soon as we refresh this one, the first thing is that it will, if there is a no value, by default, I'm setting a false here. So directly it will come and it will display this value. Now, if I write 210 years and 10 interest, click on submit. Let me change. The result is greater than 10. What is happening here? Let me debug. So if you want to debug directly, you can put the debugger here, whichever the place you wanted to debug. Click on inspect. 202. So it is hitting here and my result is 8. Fair enough, it is going into the else condition. That is fine. Click on submit. Now it is 80. So flag is true. Okay. So let me put the break here. Okay. So basically, whenever my flag is true, that time I'm displaying this particular card. If my flag is false, then I'm displaying the another text message. So this is how basically in terms of real-time scenario, let's assume that there is a pick list. Okay, so whenever the status is in progress, then I wanted to display all the contact within that account. All the records of contact within that account. So basically contact list, everything will be one component. Okay. So as soon as I change the account status pick list to in progress, I can show list of records, list of contact records in the same page. So this is how the real-time scenarios will be there. So this is one example. Coming to CSS, let's discuss about the style. So style is For example, let's take, I wanted to, whatever the output is there, okay? I wanted to display this output in the box. So right now it is displaying like this. Now I wanted to display in the box and I wanted to apply some kind of a, it should come in center. The result should be displayed at this center of the screen, okay? And I wanted to have some border, red color border. So how can I use that? So in order to use the styling, so these all we will not be having in the Lightning design system. So my requirement is, I want the bottom, whatever the Lightning card is there, it has to be outlined with red line, red solid line. And it has to have some width and it has to have some height and it has to have a margin. Okay, so these all within one design system is not possible. So when I say margin, okay, so this is my Lightning component. Okay, so whenever I execute my Lightning app, if you observe whatever I have written, it starts with corner. It starts with like this. If I give any buttons, it starts with here. So basically, this is whatever these lines are there, these are called as a margin. So this is the left margin, this is the right margin, and this is the top margin. Okay, so now I wanted to display specific field here. So right now my text field is displaying, the Lightning input is displaying, attaching to like this, it is displaying. Okay, I do not want to display the Lightning input starting from margin. Okay, I wanted to push this to till this, so that there should be some space here. So in order to push this, in order to give some space between the field and margin is called as a padding. So this is margin, whatever the lines, this is called as a margin. And this one, if you want to give a space between the margin and the field, this is called as a padding. Padding left, padding right, padding top, padding bottom. Okay, how much space you wanted to apply? We have an option in the Lightning design system. If you want a padding extra small, or you want a extra small, okay, only little bit space I needed. Now I need little more space than extra small, otherwise small, otherwise extra medium, or extra medium, or large, extra large. So we have a different kind of a spacing in the Lightning design system. Okay, if you go to the Lightning design system, okay, so this is margin and padding, both are, whatever the blue color is displaying, that is it is talking about the For example, there is a information which is there on the component. So this is a component. Okay. So everything attaching to the margin. Okay. So if I wanted to give a space on the top, the space will be at the paragraph level. It will be applied. So it can be extra small, or extra small, or extra small. So this is on the top. The naming convention will be SLDS-P top extra small. So same thing, if I want the medium, large, you can apply it. Okay, this is top and this is for the left. If you want the left, just replace the top with left. Same with bottom also. And same with right also. Okay, so if I want any space from the margin, between the margin and field, then we use the padding. Okay, now what I want, this is my output. Okay, this is my output, and I have all the fields that are displaying from here. This is one component. This is another card. Okay, so this component from here to here I have. So what I want is this particular lightning card, I wanted to push it to the center with the red color box. So this is what I wanted to implement using the style. So let's go to the lightning component. In order to use the style, let's introduce the div here. Okay, div class. Okay, let's give some name to class box. Okay, now let's copy this class, go to style. Here we have a dot this. Okay, this means whatever we write here styling, it is going to apply for this bundle, this component. Okay, now in order to use that class, what format is dot and then box. Okay, now what I wanted to use in this box, width. Let's take example of 300 pixel. Height, let's take 150 pixel. Border, 3 pixel, and I want solid red. And then margin left, 650 pixel. Okay. So whatever the styling that I have written here, this will apply to box. So wherever my class is box, it is going to apply that styling. So I'll use the flag by default true, so that it will display as soon as I refresh the component. It displays here, yes. So this is what styling that I have implemented right now. But I want the middle of the screen and the red color border, height and width, everything I have written. You might be questioning that how are we taking this information? Like margin, hyphen, left, border, background color. Like if I want background color. Blue. So the question is, how do I know the keyword, which keyword I need to use? I would suggest today go through the CSS in the W3 school, because this will give a lot of information here. So if I want a background color, if I want a color of, if I wanted to apply color on top of the screen, then I can use directly color, whatever this color is there. But if I want the background color, I have to use the background hyphen color. So same thing with the padding. You can apply padding. Okay, here it is. Okay, so go to the HTML and if whatever you wanted to apply. So it will give you the keyword, the key that you wanted to use. So here it is, background is tomato. Let's use this color. See what happens here. The background is tomato, but it did not apply to the lightning card. Right? I did not apply to the lightning card. Let me use this here. What will happen? He did not take it. But if I remove the lightning card, by default, the lightning card is applying this style. But if I want the style to be applied, then I have to remove the lightning card there. Let me remove it. So it did apply. And same thing for links. If you want a different kind of a hyperlink, and if I wanted to apply, like if I, as soon as I click on that link, if I wanted to open in the same page, self, we have to use, if I wanted to open in the new tab, then blank. So here, everything, all the information is given here. So CSS W3 school is the better place in order to, like, what kind of a styling we have to apply. You just go through the CSS and try to apply some styling today so that you will understand.
Okay.
And for example, if I wanted to use the image, So this is what we have implemented text we are working. How to insert an image on the lightning component. So in order to insert the image, let's download some image from the Google. Let's take Salesforce. Okay, let's download this. Salesforce logo. Okay. The first step is, before placing the image on the lightning component, the first step is you have to go to the static resource. Go to setup and search for static resource. So the first thing that you have to upload that image into static resource. You cannot directly take into the lightning component. And cache control, use the public. If you use the public, the image will be applicable, appear to the all the users. Let's take Salesforce logo. Okay, save. Now copy the name of this static resource. Let's go back to the lightning component. So let's see how, once we upload the image, how it is displaying it. So this is how it is displaying it. Okay. Now I wanted to use this image in the lightning component. Okay. So let's take another div here. Let's divide that. Okay. Inside that div, in order to use the image, we have a img. And it has an attribute called src, source. Where is my source? From where should I need to take the image? So for that, we have to give exclamation $. Let's see what happens if I use like this. Height equal to, I do not want to display the image on the full screen. So that's the reason I'm giving the height 150 and width is somewhat 250. Let's close this and save. Okay. Refresh my app. Okay, inside the box I have written. Let's take out this and put it here. Why it is not displaying the image? Okay. If I use resource.logo, why this was not working? If I use the URL, it is working fine. Why it was not working? I don't have that.
I think it's resource start logo name.
Resource dot. Yeah, that's right. So where to take the source, that is the resource dot my what are the image is there, that image name. Now I wanted to place this image in the center. So let's have another class here. Let's use the class name as logo. Let's go to style dot this dot logo. So I'll just apply the margin left 650 pixel. Okay, so just observe here style. We have a different functions here. So this is one style, this is one style. If you look at the controller, we put a comma after one function is ended. But in style, we do not use the comma anywhere. So do not use comma here directly. As soon as you end the first styling, it directly starts with dot this dot logo. So let's see, did I save? Yes. So it came in the center. Now I can apply the anything to this, whatever the logo is there. If I want a different border to this logo, I can apply. So, okay. So right now, this is clear, right?
Yes, yes.
Let's do another debugging here. If I use this box inside this box, okay, how it displays. Okay, so basically lightning component, implementing a lightning component is basically doing the R&D kind of a thing. Like what will happen if I apply class here and if I put all of this in one color. So these everything is trial and error kind of a thing. But ideally in the real time, this styling part will be taken care by the UI team. There will be UI UX team. So our part is to implement the main logic, whether the logic is working or not. So if they want any styling to be applied to this box and this input box, UI UX team will be taking care of applying the all kind of a style. If you are working in a company that has a UI UX, but if in case if there is no team to handle the styling part, in that case we have to work on it.
Okay.
So can I use whatever the class is there? Can I use it only for the div, or how can I apply the class? What are the styling classes there? How can I apply that here? So let me see. Let me take this as a lightning card. Dot this dot lightning card, and I'm applying the width, same 300 pixel. Height is 150 and the border is 3 pixel. Let's use this, and border color, let me use the red. Okay, now I'm applying this styling to the above card. So this card I'm applying the styling. Let's see how it displays. Okay. So before it was displaying margin here, right to left, whatever the complete space it was occupying it. Now I have given the width and height 300 pixel and 150 pixel, and let me put this into the center. Let's refresh this. Okay. So this is because it's overriding the div. I have this is overriding the div. So this I have to design it properly so that whatever the image is there that comes below. Or what I can do is I can add, after this lightning card is completed, I can add the lightning design system padding bottom down. So padding bottom extra extra large. So that kind of a styling I can apply it so that it will be displayed at the bottom. Otherwise, let me see if I put 250. Okay. I have increased the height. It is displaying this. Either you can do the height increase in the CSS, or I can use the directly lightning design system in the class. Okay. So this is, if you look at the example of the Salesforce login screen. I have to log out. So this is the screen. It's almost how they have implemented it. Okay, I have a logo. Okay, and the first username, password, and the login button. So we have implemented a button on top. If you put a attribute equal to footer, the button will be displayed at the bottom. Okay, so today the assignment is implementing this login page. Okay, so implementing this login page. So this is one card. Let me copy this. Okay, this is lightning card. Inside the lightning card, I have a two lightning input.
తీసుకో మమ్మీ ఇదో మమ్మీ చూడు
Just a second.
చూడు 3 పంపించింది.
Okay, so inside that card, I have a lightning input, username, and the data type is email. And I have another lightning input, and the data type is password. This is a button. Okay, I have a button and I have a checkbox here. And this is the image.
మమ్మీ నువ్వు కొన్ని తాగుతావా వాటర్?
So this is the assignment. Let me stop the
ఈ వాటర్
recording.
ఈ వాటర్ నార్మల్ వాటర్ నార్మల్